Oh my, I'm gonna, bloody chickens! I just finished cleaning this garden bed. Seriously, look, I was weeding on the sides of the veggie garden. And these girls have just come along and dug it all over. Look at the evidence. Look, evidence. Look, it's all over your face. Don't lie to me. Come on, fly. Oh, folks, now look, I've let them out, and I let them out every day, only because I don't like them in the cage, you know, or, well, the cage is, what is it, 30 by 15 or 30 by 10, 300, 400 square metres space. There's only 12 girls, but again, they've turned that into a dust bowl and they need to be moved around, so every day they come outside and they venture out, and it is what it is. They get into the garden, they've turned the soil over a little bit, you know, just ruffle it up again, put a bit more mulch down. It's not like the chickens the sheep that came in and trampled everything and ate it to the ground almost. They know where they're going, and little Leia is on the way to make sure they get back there. I just planted this area. Look at this. They've squashed the onions. They're almost as bad as a sheep. Look at that. They're digging over there. And I put some radishes in here because my darling wife wanted radishes, and I've stuck them all over the place, you know, scattered them all. But look at all these onions flattened down. Look at all this edgy. Look what they've done to this lettuce. Look at this. Literally, yeah, I love my chickens, I do, I do. In the pot or on the grill or in the barbie, that's how I like them. I tell you something, you're getting very close to that stage. So, although these are layers, they're not meat chickens, so there's not much on them. So there's no point in doing that. And Leia, come here, get out, come on. Yeah, just walk all over it. That's the girl. Now, here's one of my veggie garden, folks. This is one we built with the workshop. It looks pretty good, eh? Not too bad. Got lots of veggies growing. We've got some broccoli going in here. We've got some spinach. We've got some flowering plants. We've got some broad beans popping up. There's also this one over here doing really well. Nice and healthy, isn't it? Now, we've got the lettuce in this one, beetroot. We've got a capsicum. This tomato's not doing too well because we planted it way too early. We know that. But look what's happening at the bottom. It's taken off again. So that is really early. I mean, that's going to fall off. See that yellowing there? That's from adverse weather, sometimes a bit too much cold weather, I suppose, or even the nutrient uptake is a bit too rich for it, and that's going to fall off. It's holding on at the moment, but when you see them like that, they tend to fall off. But the flowers on top here, they're holding on pretty well. It's quite firm, it's hardened off, that's for sure, so it's acclimatised to the environment. Something's got it in here as well, a bird. Squash me spring onions, or onions. Oh, they're onions, they're not spring onions, yeah. Back to this one here. Now, it all looks great, but from the distance I notice something going on here. Apart from this little broccoli, or broccolini trying to take off really early and flower off, it's trying to survive. That one's doing okay. Look what's happening here. See the curl? See the curl? See the curl? See the curl? And from the distance I thought, oh, what's going on here? Something's wrong with the soil, but it isn't the soil, because look at this. That's doing well. All the others are doing really well. Okay, this little seedling here had a hard start or a rough start, so that's why it's struggling. But here, this curl is a bit concerning. So let's take it off and have a look and see what's going on inside. Exhibit A, folks. Your Honour, we've been invaded. Have a look at that. They've come in and set up shop. We've got thousands of them, and I can't see them because they're so bloody small. But they're there. You obviously can. They look like aphids to me. I haven't got my glasses with me at the moment, but yep. So what we've got to do now is roll this up carefully. There's no point spraying this one here, folks. Just make sure the wind doesn't take it. Have a look at the other one. See where it's curling up again? There's more in there. Now, they're going to fall to the base here, and they're going to spread. Are they starting in here? Yep, they're just starting in here. Look at this. See, they're just starting, where it's just starting to curl on the tip. If you notice that curling, walk up to your veggies, especially your leafy ones. See this one down in here? That's the new growth. They've already attacked the new growth. I'm sure they have. Yep, see that? See that going on in there? All right, well, we can't cut it all out. Probably will cut most of it out, but not the new growth. So what I'm going to do is I went into the kitchen pantry and stole my missus's olive oil, extra virgin one. She won't let me use it otherwise if she knows. And I got the earth-friendly dishwashing soap, so there's no preservatives or additives in it at all. So it's about a tablespoon of olive oil and about 4 or 5 drops of dishwashing and about a litre of water. Give it a good shake. Make sure it works. It does. Just the spray ahead. And the good thing about this home brew, folks, is if your family pets are around you, like my ones are 24/7, there's no fear of overspray on them. It's a little bit of olive oil and dishwashing soap. Yep, I've got a stream on this, not a light spray. I've got to get right in there. See how it's curled up in there and it covers it over? The spray doesn't get in there, so I might just do this. That's drenching it. That's got to get it. So this will work, but it needs to be repeated on a regular basis, and it won't work if you do it only every 2 weeks. I suggest you do it maybe every 5 to 10 days, and it needs to be drenched in there. You really got to get inside there, folks, because they will cause nothing but problems. I need 3 hands to do this. And this is a good thing about it. It's all safe. It's stuff that you wash your hands with, the dishes with, and it's stuff that you put on your food. 3 natural ingredients and really safe to use, and that's what I'm doing. So folks, they're out there. This was only just brought to my attention because I saw the curler from the distance and had to walk up and check it out, because I've also got it on in here. Don't you dare. Yeah, they're starting just in there. And we're talking about bricks counting and the soil counting. Well, these guys have set up shop before we can get our plants to grow. Well, they've grown. I should say they have grown, but this wind is knocking them about. So not only have I got them on here, we've also got it on the kale plant there that's been there for about 2.5 years. It's just on the new growth at the top there, so I'm going to go and give that a spray as well. I like it a bit more harsher than that. That's it. And when you do spray these things, it's just like the high jet stream water that we did last time to wash them off the nectarine tree. Spraying on the one side's not enough, so you've got to spray on this side. Just aim it to the camera. That might give that a bit of a... That's it. And I found another one here. All the new growth, I'm letting these flower because I love them self-sowing. It's the best way. I find you get a better plant out of it the next generation when they self-sow and they germinate. But I need my secateurs. I'm taking this branch off. This one's just completely covered. I don't need this one. Do you want to put the camera down and go and get me the secateurs? All right, bugger you. Carefully cut this one off because I've gone for the one branch and it's completely covered all the way. They're hard to see because they almost match the colour of the plants. A little bit on the grey side. But when you see that, folks, that's a recipe for disaster, and you can see how it's stunted all the new growth on top there. The flowers are struggling. So this is going to the chickens. This is what they should be eating. Go. She knows she... Out. Come on, out. No, out. Go. Good girl. Go. Go. Out. 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 Well, there you go, folks. You can't mix animals with gardening. Well, not that easily, unless you let them out and you want them to mix it with the garden. And then they'll mix your garden up. Then you'll get less produce to enjoy, but they'll be very tasty chickens or eggs. Now, if you're looking for some big malaccas, I know there's one here, but there's plenty behind me in that little makeshift hothouse, and we're almost ready. Well, they actually are ready. There's a few there. Go on our website, vasilisgarden.com. If you didn't get seeds or they didn't germinate for whatever the reason, you can purchase a seedling, but you'll have to come and collect it from either Lethbridge or Dandenong North. They're the 2 locations. We're trying to find another one in the northern regions. We may talk to Pascoval Garden Supplies, see if they can have them. Otherwise, enjoy your day. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you tomorrow. From me, Vasili, Maresi.